Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to Pop of Color Live, a music industry late night show for colorful bands and artists. Tonight's topic is going to be talking about how the term personal brand is just a fancy modern way to say reputation. And a little bit about me, for those of you who have not tuned in before, my name is Clara Charon. I run a music marketing agency based in Ottawa, Canada. But thanks to the power of the internet, I can broadcast my thoughts on the music industry via this weekly live show to all of you, no matter where you are in the world. Thank you to all of you who are joining on Instagram and on Facebook, where I am live Monday nights at 9 p.m. Tonight we started a little bit late, but that is because we have a brand new location going on here. I don't know if you're able to see on both screens, but all these behind me are a gigantic row of cards in my music room. And these are all cards that people have sent me over the years for birthdays, Christmases, graduations, and lots of them come from the wonderful people I have met via my adventures with this music marketing agency and through the blog and through my work with musicians. So in case you've ever wondered why I'm such a sentimental person when it comes to sending handwritten birthday cards to everyone on my mailing list, it's because I have a huge wall of them, to the point where I have to start going around on the other two walls with the cards you all have sent me. Anyways, so before we begin, I would like to introduce tonight's special sponsor for this episode. She's live on Instagram. I can see her there, but none other than the fabulous Wanda Grandove. So Wanda is a Canadian alt-pop folk singer-songwriter, and she sent in this mug. So I am a very, very happy person. I'm a very happy pop of color because I have a mug. For those of you who don't know, I am tea crazy, and this is amazing. Having merch that is unconventional, something that's beyond just the t-shirt and that your fans will love, not just when they're in the mood for music, but when they're doing other things in their life, is a great way to strengthen fan connections. My tea is still a little bit hot, so I'm putting it back there. But a little bit more about Wanda. What I really like about her music is that it's got this kind of organic, authentic nature element to it, while still being very catchy and very well written and very accessible. That's my personal take on it. She does live streams on her Facebook page, which you should definitely check out. If you are watching on Facebook, I have tagged her in the description of this video, so go check out her Facebook page and watch her weekly live streams. As well, she has a really wonderful mailing list. So thank you, Wanda. I can see you in the comments of the Instagram live, and it means a lot to me that you sent that in the mail. I'm just really touched, okay? So thank you for sending in the mug. I'm going to, okay, I'm actually crying tears of joy on air. I'm just so full of gratitude these days. Anyway, so while we're quickly on the topic of mailing lists, I just want to quickly tell you guys that my course, my first ever online course, is nearly here. Basically, one of the goals I've had with Pop of Color this year is I'm trying to figure out how to scale the business, because as you can tell by the circles under my eyes and the fact that I am living on very little sleep and a lot of ramen, I don't have any hours in the day left, and I'm exhausted. And what the most important thing I need to figure out how to do now is how to multiply myself. And I thought that the best way to do that strategically is to create things that I don't have to create a brand new one of and personalize it every single time. Now, for artists, the way you can scale, it would be the same thing like recording your music. In the very early days of recordings, you couldn't duplicate a record. So artists had to sing the same song over and over and over again for every record. Or if you were playing a show to one person, only one, because that is a lot of what I do with my marketing agency, the Pop of Color marketing agency side. That is it with individual clients, individual artists that I help. I can't take the customized, personalized, specially made for them things I do with them and bring it to another artist. It won't work. So as a result, I don't have any hours left in the day and there's a long lineup. So what I found is I need to do what artists do when they create the same thing that they can show to multiple people, a recording nowadays, or a concert where they can have multiple people in the audience, is something that can be repeated. So what I've done is I've created, I'm in the process of creating my first ever online course, which is where I'm going a series of videos and worksheets and to-do lists and actionable lessons on creating email lists for your fan base in ways to make them feel special. Because for those of you who aren't familiar with Pop of Color and everything we stand for here, it's all about making the fans feel special. And yeah, so that is what I'm up to. It's nearly done, and I thought, because I'm just really, really grateful and really happy and really thankful for all your support over the last couple years, I figured, why should I keep this a surprise? So it's not finished yet, but you can buy it for a 60% discount. It's on my website. It's in the store. Check it out. But that's basically what it is. You can read more about it. One cool thing I do have that comes with it is a list of 100 email list ideas that aren't buy my album, because we all need different things to say. And one of the most frequent problems I've found artists have when I'm talking to them and asking them what is their problem or what are their challenges when it comes to emailing their fan base is, well, I have nothing to say other than salesy stuff, and I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. That's not why I got into music. So I want to help with that. Okay, we got that out of the way. Let's talk about the music industry news this week. Okay, so you remember back in October of last year, when the Music Modernization Act in the States passed, and we were all super, super happy about that. This week, Spotify, Pandora, Google, and Amazon have each separately filed an appeal to the U.S. Copyright Royalty Board in order to block the part of the Music Modernization Act going through that the specific part that means that songwriters can get paid 44% more on their royalties from streaming services. Songwriters are the heart, the backbone, the lifeblood of the music business. There would be no music business if there was no music. And I am seething, even though I'm trying to stay calm on air, but I am very upset about this. And I want songwriters to know that I have your back. I think we all need to stick up for each other here. And songwriters, if you are watching, whether it be live right now or whether it be on the replay, if there's anything we can do for you, not just me, but in everyone who's watching, this whole music community, the Pop of Color community, what can we do for you to help you through this trying time? Because this is not fair to you, and this is not an easy thing to go through. So I had a really, really good quote that I do want to read to you because I think you guys will appreciate it. David Israelite, who is the president and CEO of the National Music Publishers Association, said this about the appeal. When the Music Modernization Act became law, there was hope it signaled a new day of improved relations between digital music services and songwriters. That hope was snuffed out today when Spotify and Amazon decided to sue songwriters in a shameful attempt to cut their payments by nearly 1/3. No amount of insincere and hollow public relations gestures, such as throwing parties, or buying billboards of congratulations, or naming songwriters geniuses, can hide the fact that these big tech bullies do not respect or value the songwriters who make their businesses possible. I have one word to say to that, and it's yikes. Ow! I was sipping tea so dramatically I spilt it on me. But there we go. That's the kind of outrage to which I am at when it comes to the latest updates of the Music Modernization Act. But we are all in this together, and we are all going to get through this no matter what happens on the government side. Songwriters, we're here for you because we know how important you are. This whole community, not just me, not just on the business side, this whole community of all the amazing people who are tuned in and who are watching this and who know, because we work hands-on in the music industry, we know how important you are, we know how much you matter, and we wouldn't have gotten into music in the first place if it wasn't for the good songs and the music itself. In other quick little news, I do want to just quickly mention that Facebook now lets you share events in the Facebook stories. So if you are someone who has gigs that you make Facebook events for, you get to drop them in your stories now. Instagram is also rolling out a new option to add titles to live videos. I'm going to try to figure out how to do that after on the live version of this late show. This is the second time I ever streamed the late show live on Instagram. So yeah, let's figure this out after, right before I tune out, because I think that would be fun. So now that we have that roller coaster out of the way, I want to talk about the concept of reputation. Ew, look what you made me do. No, head out of the gutter, not that reputation. I mean the concept that has been around as long as civilization has been a thing. This past week, I was in the US, which is why there was no show last week, and I was there with my grandparents and my mom, trying to explain to them what I do for a living. And to my grandfather's credit, he did really, really well. And this is what inspired tonight's episode. It's more of a thought piece, but I really, really wanted to share my thoughts on it in this format, and I think you guys would get a kick out of it, and I think you guys would appreciate it, and let me know what you have to think and what you have to say in the comments of the videos. So the old-fashioned concept of reputation is something I'm pretty sure you all know. You know, this baker in the small town makes the best bread. This hardware store has the best prices and the best quality. This guy will not screw you over. This person will screw you over. These kind of reputations in business. You know, when it came to small towns in old communities where everyone knew each other and everyone knew each other's kids, this was the kind of thing that was very, very valuable. And despite the fact that there's a Walmart paved over where all those little stores would have been, the concept of reputation has not gone away. Instead, it's called something different nowadays, and you may have heard of it. Personal brand. Branding yourself and having a good personal brand is as important these days, I'd like to argue, as it was back in the days of the old school stores. Just because today's 21st century job market is different doesn't mean that that concept of being known as a good person isn't important. While it is true that most of us in our lifetimes will not have the same job throughout. We won't inherit our dad's butcher shop and be a butcher until the day we retire or something similar. We're going to work multiple jobs in multiple sectors. We can reinvent. We have the ability to move. We have the ability to try different things and learn all sorts of skills. The thing that we keep with us is a good reputation, a good personal brand, the knowledge that people have about us that we are someone who is hardworking, ethical, kind, honest, those kind of things. That is something that will stick with us no matter where you take with you. It's a transferable skill in a world that's constantly shifting in terms of careers and jobs and automation and all that kind of stuff. For those of you who we're also living under a rock. Not, I wouldn't call it living under a rock, but for those of you who were unaware, R. Kelly was in the news a lot these last couple weeks, and Michael Jackson, and the Me Too movement is really big, and all these kind of things. For some people, especially older people, it seems to have come out of nowhere. I mean, these were all big named celebrities, very powerful people who are being taken down by allegations. And I think that that's only possible because of social media. One, there's more evidence that you can find, and two, now in the age of digital media, you can't gatekeep broadcasting the truth. It's very hard. A newspaper can't squash a story or destroy the truth if the person who knows what's really happening can take to Twitter. Social media has created a culture of encouraging us to let our fans in on every day of our personal lives. And if you were someone who refuses to, what are you hiding? This is the kind of dynamic we have going on. So this means that the artists and the others and the public figures, such as us, who are coming up, we are going to be the first people who are going to be built and made and put on with the concept of meritocracy of reputation and of personality. I want to argue that if you are a good person, you are going to win. We will be the last one. The good people here are going to be the last ones standing. A, because no one's going to want to work with those who are a pain to be around. B, because it's hard for people who want to abuse their power the way all these big names had for years. And it's going to be harder for them to be able to keep everyone else silent out of fear, or silent out of fear of repercussion, or fear of no one believing them, or them not being able to tell their stories anymore. So good people, we are going to be the ones who win. And you can define good how you like. I choose in a general way to define it as the people who are kind, are ethical, hardworking, follow through on their promises, keep it in their pants when their female employees are around. Don't forget also that people in general, not just in music, they want to support those that they believe in. Just because there are plenty of artists who I feel I can relate to and I cheer on, even if their music isn't my favorite music in the world, but they come across as genuine good people who honestly believe in their art. They always show that they're doing the best they can. And that is something that encourages me to buy the shirt, to have the merch, to support. And I think that this is the way we are going to be heading as a society. And I think that all of us, when I say generation, I don't mean young people. I mean the artists, the creators, the entrepreneurs who are coming up now. So this next wave of people who are going to rise and going to take over positions, going to create the next companies, going to take the slots on the radio. We're going to be the first ones here by reputation, by being good people, because good is going to win. Ta-da! This is my little speech for this week. Thank you so much for listening. I'm really grateful that all of you tuned in tonight. For all of you who are going to watch on the replay, it was nice for you to stay this long. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Clara Sharon. I run a music marketing agency. We do branding and marketing and persona building in bright and colorful ways. Tonight's artist sponsor was Wanda Grandove. She sent me this mug, which is my new favorite thing in the world, and that's saying a lot. This is my new location. I want to know what you all think of the new location, because I used to have the pink couch before, and this week I'm trying out something different. That's why we were a little bit late starting, because I needed to get all the furniture in place, and I wanted to make sure that the laptop was the right height and all that kind of stuff, and I misjudged the amount of time it would take. But yeah, these are all the cards behind me that people send in, and that's one of the reasons I am so sentimental when it comes to sending cards to the people on my mailing list. So if you are watching on Facebook, in the description at the very bottom, there is a link to the archive where you can check out all the links to the news I covered this week, including that quote from Jacob Israelite. You can also go and check out Wanda's music. That would be awesome to her as a thank you for supporting the show. And do check out my course on email lists, which is in its final week of being offered as a pre-order on the early bird discount. It was lovely to see you all tonight. Stay colorful. For those of you on Instagram who might not have who don't have the same links as on Facebook, popofcolormusic.com, popofcolormusic.com. Have a wonderful night. Stay colorful. Be good to each other. I'll see you next week.